How y'all doing tonight? No, everybody right now, stand up. Come on now. Come on, everybody stand up. Repeat after me, say, I feel good. No, say it with enthusiasm and conviction. Say, I feel good. Say, I feel real good. Say, I feel outstanding. How do you feel? Outstanding. All right, do me a favor, look at the person right next to you, look them straight in the eye and say, you're outstanding. Now do the exact same thing to the person on the other side of you. You're outstanding. You're outstanding in the field. Now check this out. Pretend right now you're in front of your mirror. And look in that mirror right now and say, I'm outstanding. Now come on, one more time. Say, I'm outstanding. All right, how you doing? All right, you all can sit down now. Do you realize that one word can change your life? I mean, yeah, one word. I mean, if you think about this for a second, when you hear the word Frosted Flakes, what do you think about? Cereal, Tony Tiger, but how about they're great? Yeah, think about that. The person who thought of that was at the right place at the right time and used the right word. Okay, they're great is two words, but I mean great is like wonderful. My whole theme is living the outstanding life. If you look at the word outstanding and you look at it backwards, it means to stand out, to rise above the rest and be a little bit different. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you that I am a little bit different, and it's working. Seriously, I mean, the number one question, doesn't matter where I go in the country, the number one question is, hey Johnny, where are you from? Are you really from the South? Ladies and gentlemen, I am from the South, the very southern part of Taylor, Tucky. Yeah, seriously, I really am. But I moved west to Southgate, or that might be south, I don't know. East? That's right, it's east. You know, the number two question I always get is, Johnny, what did you do before you were a motivational speaker? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I actually used to be a bouncer. I know, there's always a few of you that are going, holy Toledo, I'm glad that you weren't working at the place I used to go to. But if you think about this for a second, you think of the word, or you think of Patrick Swayze in Roadhouse. We've all seen the movie, right? I got 40 pounds on Patrick Swayze. I'm a $180. He was a $140 when they filmed the movie. I mean, where he was the bouncer, he was the main dog. I get it. So was I. Yep, it kind of went like this. You off the slide with the pizza. I was a bouncer at Chuck E. Cheese. And I was so well at motivating kids that I started speaking. Oh, I'm joking. But living the outstanding life is tough on a daily basis. You know, people are like, well, you're a motivational speaker. It's easy. Well, it's not. I mean, we all believe in good karma, don't we? You know, you put out good karma, you get good karma back. I heard a story years ago, and this gentleman was in L.A. He was on his way home from work. And how many of us ever been to L.A.? Or even seen it on TV? I mean, 6 lanes of traffic from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed. And there's still traffic. Well, this guy sees this big, long limousine on the side of the road, and he's stuck in traffic, and he's like, I'm not going nowhere. He starts inching his way over and realizes that as he's getting closer that the limo has a flat tire. So he gets out of his truck, and he walks up there, and he kind of knocks on the window. The guy jumps back, and he's like, what are you doing? He's like, man, you got a flat tire. Need help changing it? The guy was like, are you kidding me? I called AAA. It's going to be a couple hours, and this guy in the back is a jerk. I got to get him to some meeting. Yeah, please. Please. So they fix the flat tire, and he's like, man, I wish I could give you something. The guy just shakes his hand and says, have a great day. He goes, man, I really do appreciate it. And so, you know, they say goodbye, and he starts walking back to his truck, and the window rolls down in the back. And this gentleman says, hey, thank you for helping my driver fix the flat tire. This is a really important meeting. And he goes, it looks like I may make it right now. He goes, is there something nice I can do for you? The guy goes, no, man, have a great day. He goes, no, seriously, I want to do something nice for you. The guy goes, have a great day. He goes, I want to do something nice for you. He goes, send my wife some flowers. We've been married 10 years and I haven't sent her flowers in 10 years. Takes down his address and everything else, and he goes home and doesn't think nothing of it. About a week later, he pulls up in his driveway and his wife comes running outside, jumps on top of him, and she's like, kiss him. He's like, get off me. And he's like, what is your problem? She's like, well, didn't you send me these flowers? He goes, no. He goes, maybe it was a newlyweds down the street. Did you call Sally? She goes, yes. And they're not for her. He goes, well, did you open the card? And she goes, oh, no. He goes, well, open the card. And the card read, Thank you for helping my driver fix the flat tire. I got to the meeting, got the deal. Your friend, Donald Trump. Isn't that cool? Check this out. P.S. I just paid your mortgage off. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not saying let's go jump on 94 and look for all the limousines from here to Chicago and help them out. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is a simple act of kindness goes a long way. You know, I remember years ago I started speaking, and I was in a small coffee house, and my daughter was young. She was in kindergarten, and I got off the stage, and she's like, Dad, you're famous. This was awesome. They stood up for you. This is great. I said, well, thanks, Jess, but I'm not famous. And she goes, no, Dad, that was really, really cool. And I'm like, all right, well, so I took her home. And the next day, Jessa walks into school, and a teacher greets her at the front door, and she says, Jessa, how are you? And she said, outstanding. Thank you so much for taking the time to ask. And that's exactly what the teacher did. And Jessa turns around and says, well, obviously you're not very motivated. Jessa goes back, and she starts putting her puzzle together, and realizing that it's not a typical 5-year-old response. Teacher walks over and says, Jessa, where'd you hear that? And she stands up and she goes, my daddy's a motivational speaker, and he speaks about being outstanding, and I'm outstanding. And she goes, can I talk to your dad after school? And Jessa starts crying. You know, teacher had to explain to her she didn't do nothing wrong. Later on that day, I come walking in to get Jessa, and the teacher says, Mr. Demetrician, can I please talk to you outside in the hallway about your daughter? You know what I was thinking? All those times I made my mom come to school, and the teacher had her out. Yeah. And I'm thinking to myself, I know I have a good kid. I know I do. And she says, I just want to let you know that your 5-year-old daughter motivated me today. You know, and it made me realize that it doesn't matter if we're 5 years old, 35 years old, or 99 years old. We can all make a difference, one person at a time. All right, if you think about this for a second, if you think about if we just, you know what, I'm going to do this. I'm going to challenge you right now. I'm going to challenge you to next time someone asks you how you're doing, I want you to reply, outstanding, thank you so much for taking the time to ask. And they're going to look at you like you're on drugs. Seriously, they will. I'm just letting you know. They're going to look at you, what is wrong with you? But just think about this for a second. If I challenge you to do that just to 10 people, and 3 of them listen to you, one of those could be a school teacher. And that school teacher is going to work, being nicer to their 30 students. You see what happens? Those 30 kids go home being nicer to mom and dad and brothers and sisters. The next day, mom and dad are going back to work, and they're in a great mood because their kids were good for them, the brothers and sisters. Hey, they're going to school, be nicer to their teachers and their fellow students because their mom was nice to them, their brothers and sisters were nice to them. You see, by the end of the week, we've somehow impacted thousands of people by just 21 people. I know that's a little deep, but think about that for a second. When I'm having a bad day, people are all the time, they're like, what do you do when you have a bad day? I love this. I love going to the mall and walking into one of those young people shops. And you've all been there, and you get those young girls, young guys, they're like, hey, how are you today? And they're like, outstanding, thank you so much for taking the time to ask me. Like, ooh, okay. And they go and hide. Yeah, seriously, it is so much fun. But that's my challenge to you. The next time someone says, hey, how you doing? I want you to reply, outstanding, thank you so much for taking the time to ask. Now, how many of us know those 30-minute people? You're around them 30 minutes and you just got to get away from them because they're so negative. I know none of you know anybody like that. I know. You also know those 15-minute people. You're around them 15 minutes, and sometimes you just want to shake their hand and keep walking because you don't even want to talk to them. They're so negative. They're out there. But I love killing them with kindness. And I'm going to wrap things up here with this poem, and it's called For You. Live each day as if it were your last, and build on the future and not on the past. Reach for the stars, but don't fall down, and get back up with a smile and not a frown. Dream big. There's no room for small, and no matter what, walk proud and tall. Don't wait for things to go your way. Go out and get them forever to stay. Never give up and never let go. Strive to be the best, then they'll know that you become the best that you can be. And believe in yourself, that's all you ever did need. This is Johnny D, the Motivational Cowboy, telling each and every one of you, be safe, have fun, and have an outstanding night. Let's give it up again for Chuck Tocco.